Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, the Python Gurukul. Today we'll be talking about Pytest Parametrization. We will be seeing three different ways to parameterize our test functions. We will be covering parameterized test function, fixture, and then use the Pytest generate test hook function. So let's start uncovering one by one. Whenever we are talking about parameterization, it is a process where we are running the same test with a different values. And about the syntax, we have to just use decorator at the rate pytest mark parametrizing decorator. Give the variable name and the values. This particular test case will be called as many times as we have item inside the variable. To understand it better, we'll use this particular example, def finish. This is one method, and this method changes the book state to complete. Maybe it is pending, we want to change it to complete, or from in progress, we want to complete. So whatever state we have, this particular function is going to change the state to complete. So if we have to write the test cases, three different scenarios could come in our mind. One is from pending, we want to verify done or complete. From in progress, done. From complete to complete. So this way we can come up with three different scenarios. And these are just duplicate data. From this particular to another test case, only the difference is the state. So, is there any better way we can write this particular test case? Instead of writing the same test case again and again with the different input, can we do something better? Let's give a try. So, this particular test case looks more formalized, short, simple, but it has lots of logic inside it. For we are running the for loop, then inside the loop we are doing the initialization. But the we are testing three different scenarios, but we'll get the credit for only one because this is the it will be counted as a one test case. If it fails for any one of the scenario, we'll be not able to go through the remaining scenarios. So what the better solution? Then the parameterization comes handy. Parameterization says that doesn't matter. This particular test case is going to run as many times as we have the data to run on. So we are running for pending, we are running for in progress, we are running for complete. And these test cases are independent. For some reason, if one of the test cases failed, we will be continuing with the next test case. So let's see how we can do that. So in this particular one, again, the way we saw the using the decorator, we are using the decorator, but this time we are using some set of data. So one data has two dimension, state summary, start date, and they have corresponding data. This particular test case uses the variable name, start summary, start date, right inside the arguments. So this particular parameterization will be getting uncovered while calling this particular test case. And this particular test case will convert it to three different test cases as per the available data. See the parameterizing the fixture. So in the fixture, the way we have been creating a fixture, we'll be saying at the rate pytest and fixture, we are giving the params data. We define start state, and while creating a test case, we will be using start a state as a fixture. So this particular test finish is using two fixture books DB and start state. And the start state is going to uncover all the parameters and pass those parameters to this particular test case. So again, this particular test case is being to call as many times as we have the param values. But how it is different? So if in any scenario we want to have the test cases and the parameters are dependent in different scenarios, then it's very handy. We can compose different scenarios and run our test case, and we don't have to worry about different initialization, different database connection. This one will be taken care by this. fixtures. So to simplify, if we are just thinking about different data, then use parameterization function. If we are thinking about the different state, then use the parameterization fixture. Now let's change the gear and talk about one of the very powerful hook, Pytest generate test. So as I mentioned, it is a hook, and hook is always used to alter the Pytest normal execution flow. So how what we are doing? It has various uses, but we will be using Pytest generate test to generate test as per the different parameters. So the test finish remains as it is the way we have seen before. Only we are adding def Pytest generate and it uses the meta function. This meta function object has lots of information. But here we are just saying that meta function parameterize set the state pending in progress complete. And these states will be returned to our test case. And that's all we wanted. So this particular test case is going to run as many states we have inside the generate test. There is, as I mentioned, this PyTest generate test is very powerful. Even whenever we want to dynamically control the execution flow from the command line, we can use the PyTest generate. And in this particular example, I'll be showcasing that maybe I want to pass string input hello world or maybe some more parameters. So from here, we are controlling the flow. So to understand it, I have one test valid string function and we want to test this function. To test this function, we are going to use PyTest generate test. And there we are saying that the string input, just look into the meta function fixture name and in the meta function parameterize, look for string input. And as many string input we have, read the data and run the test cases. So this particular scenario, we have passed two string input hello and world, and we can see that two test cases were selected at the runtime and ran. So that's the beauty of PyTest generate tests. So now let's change the gear and talk about, take a look at the live run. Okay, so in this example, I'll be showcasing two different ways, just the way we want to write. So here we have two different combined value, book name and status. We are using the same marker mark parameterize, and we are just calling the book name and a status. The parameter will take care of running this test case as many data value we have in our parameterization. The same thing goes on for this particular test case. Here we are doing everything in one line. This is more simplified. We are just saying that pass the status and here are the value for status. And then it just we are using the status in our test case. So let's go ahead to the command line and run this particular test case. And we can see that two test cases, we collected 6 items, and the reason of 6 item was that we had three values here, one, two, three, and three values here. So we got the 6 test cases. Now let's go to the fixture. In the fixture, the same example. Again, here we have three different state. This particular fixture is going to return the state. We are using the state inside the test case, and this is being returned, and we'll be verifying the status. So let's go ahead, go to the command line, and now just call the fixture one. And again, I'm showcasing that even we had one test case, we are saying collected 3 items, and the reason of the 3 item was that three different values. Let's go to the last example, test gen. Again, even it has lots of usage, but we will be using this one for the purpose of demoing that how we can generate the different test cases on different values. So again, Pytest generate test, it is going to parameterize and the state is being returned and the same thing we are using in our test function. So while running, it will just look for the all available fixture. From the fixture, it will return all the values and it will create three different test cases. So go ahead and then call this. Okay, so we are able to see that we got the three test cases passed. That looks well and good. And that's all I had for today. If you like my video, please share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.